Please be seated. Welcome, parents, relatives, teachers, administrators, school board members, and students to the graduation ceremony for the class of 1999. The class of 1999 has demonstrated a record of achievement and accomplishment. Members of this class have won state academic and athletic championships, along with recognition in the arts and sciences. They've been accepted into the finest institutions and have won thousands and thousands of dollars in scholarships. I recognize that this level of success does not occur in isolation, but requires the support of parents, relatives, teachers, and friends. Students, please take this moment to recognize those that have supported you. I believe that the class of 1999 is prepared for the real world. It is with that faith in mind that this evening's program is very student-centered. So again, welcome and enjoy, and please stand at this time for the national anthem and remain standing for the alma mater. Gentlemen, please remove your hats.
You may be seated. just a moment to allow the students to take their seats. To the class of 1999, to the parents, the loved ones, the faculty, the administration, members of the board, I welcome each and every one of you. Thank you for attending, and it's my privilege and honor and precious opportunity to congratulate the students on what is to be a great day for them and a great evening. This is after many years of hard work, and it never ceases to amaze me the number of students that graduate from the North Penn High School with incredible amounts of accomplishments, awards, rewards, and achievements behind them. It's been my privilege for many, many years to not just congratulate you tonight, but to congratulate many students over many years, and it never loses its thrill. But I'd like to just take one moment to honor, to applaud, and to mention those students in your class that I would refer to tonight as the overcomers. We all know, those of you that have received awards in this booklet, we are well aware of the athletes, we are well aware of the performing arts students, the marching knights, and the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fabulous kids that are achieving every day. But unbeknownst to the students and many in our community, we have students that come every day that in a perfect world would not have to carry the baggage, the heartache, and the pain that they bring to school every day on the same path to get an education like their high aspiring neighbors. There are those among you that have suffered with debilitating diseases, operations, physical and many mental handicaps. There are those of you that have lost loved ones this year. There are those of you I know have lost your home. You have lost a parent, the family's disintegrated. You have homeless students in your class sitting here who are probably not sure where they're going to go tonight. And they remain quiet, and they remain steadfast. And while they're here taking in book lessons, they are learning character lessons and character building skills that many of you, and I'm glad many of you, do not have to face. You know who they are. You know who has been in abusive and traumatic situations this year. You know who they are. Please join me in a round of applause for those students that have had to suffer a bit more to get here today. And if you would just grant me one privilege, Tracy and Aaron, raise your hands. Tracy and Aaron, I love you. I love you very much. Samantha, raise your hand. There's only one Samantha out there. She knows who she is, and I love her dearly, and I would be proud to be her real mother. You are a lovely lady, and you are going to be very successful. You are an overcomer. I love each and every one of you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Success. What is success, really? It's not something you can buy or touch, but it is something you can achieve if you have the will to do so. When you think of success, what do you imagine? Well, there are many successes we've all had along the way, individually and as a class. When we were little, losing our first tooth was a pretty big deal. Then as we got older, we experienced our first date, and our first kiss. Then more recently, we earned our driver's licenses, took the SATs, got our first job, and maybe got accepted to the college of our choice. And as a class, we've had outstanding accomplishments in sports, theater, music, and who could forget winning Powder Puff our junior year. However, when you think of success, you have to remember the flip side to it, which of course is failure. Maybe not everyone got their license the first time. I know I didn't. Maybe some of us were not happy with our SAT scores. Maybe you got fired from your job. Or maybe this year we didn't win Powder Puff. But you can't let failure get you down. You have to learn and benefit from it. As we sit here today, we are honoring our greatest accomplishment of all, high school graduation. 13 long years of work and sacrifice, all for that one piece of paper that says you did it. Doesn't it feel good to achieve success after working so hard for so long? The reason I raised the whole idea of success and failure has to do with a man whom I once met. Have you ever met someone you only knew for a short time but left a very strong impression on you? I did. He was a good friend of my grandmother's, and at one of our family gatherings, he and I got to talking. He was a very kind old man who had many interesting stories and things to say about life in general. He must have liked me because he talked to me for the entire afternoon. And when it was time for me to leave, he said that he had one more piece of advice to give me, and that I should never forget it. He said, "Success is only temporary, but failure is never final." Meaning that no matter how much success we have, that there's always a possibility of losing it. And that no matter how miserably we fail, we always have the opportunity to pick ourselves back up and start over again. You can't let one failure stop you from trying again, but you can't relax too much when you've achieved success. Those words of advice were the last words he ever said to me because he died about a year later. And that was roughly 10 years ago. But it was so powerful that it has stuck with me ever since. And I still think about his advice every time I make a mistake. So now, I pass his words of advice on to you at the culmination of our greatest achievement ever. Remember it now during your success, but never forget it during your failures. Ladies and gentlemen of the class of '99, congratulations. The world is ours to conquer. Good luck to all of you.
As I stand here for a moment, I'd like you to remember something. Strain your minds and think back to another graduation, to the end of 5th grade when we were only half as tall as we are right now. We can probably catch a glimpse of our young faces hidden in the folds of our past. Elementary school was a fleeting instant in our lives, but can we still feel the first blossoms or dreams of our youth cupped within our hands? Have you brought those blossoms or dreams here with you tonight? Look at us now and see how we have changed. There was once a time when we were excited by the holiday parties we had each year, the classroom surprises that we knew would come with each day, the new pieces of information that we gleaned from our teachers, and the marshmallow towers we built. One of my most prominent memories involves these marshmallow towers. In my hazy memories of 5th grade, a rather nondescript morning sticks out in my mind because of a tempting bag of jumbo-sized marshmallows sitting on our teacher's desk. The homework assignment from the night before was to bring in 1 box of toothpicks. Before I brought my box to school that day, My mom instructed me to be very careful with that box since it was the only box of toothpicks we had in the house. I was told to bring home all the extra toothpicks, so I was determined to keep the box protected all the way to school and back again. Well, this story does not have a happy ending. Halfway through making a wonderful creation with marshmallows and toothpicks, I left the work table for just a minute. And when I came back, I was shocked to find that my little blue box of toothpicks, the only one I had in the house and the one I was responsible for, had been taken over by a little boy in our class. The box's contents were now scattered across the table, its single pieces claimed by other students who said they needed them. I never got to finish my marshmallow tower and ended up going home miserable and minus a whole box of toothpicks, although my mom did comfort me by saying that she cared more about me than that little box of toothpicks. Don't worry, Tim. Even if you don't remember taking those toothpicks, they aren't important anymore. Although toothpicks are an extremely insignificant aspect of my life right now, they remind me a little bit about my growing out of childhood. Can all of us remember that time when we were still children and did not know or care what other people thought of us? The misperceptions of one another. Was there a time when we didn't ever aspire to be anything, but we just aspired to be? Today, we begin our migration onto roads separate and apart. These past 7 years since our elementary graduation have often been difficult and sometimes have gone too fast. I find myself here today, supported by my beliefs and ideals, as I try to hold on to a childlike faith in Jesus, my God and Creator. As we prepare to go our separate ways, let me share with you what I feel strongly in my heart. Don't let that child within you fade away. Hold on to your pure beliefs and ideals. We've been through struggles at work, at home, and probably in ways nobody else can imagine. And yet, we must never let go of our hopes and dreams. Always, remember to carry a smile in your heart, even when your marshmallow tower stands unfinished and your toothpicks are gone forever. Don't ever bury your emotions, your ability to cry when you need to cry, to freely laugh with someone else, and to be sensitive to others' feelings or situations. Together, we have shared laughs, shed tears, and helped to support each other during hard times. Now, as we celebrate our past, we also embrace our future. May we keep our hearts open and our moments precious as we forever stay a child. Congratulations on our graduation today.
Yes, Steve!
As graduation drew closer and closer, I anxiously anticipated giving my speech. The only problem was, I had no idea what to say. I was simply waiting for something to fall out of the sky and hit me in the head. Unfortunately, that never happened, and I was forced to think. As I thought back on my childhood experiences, one memory came to mind. It is my only memory of Korea. When I was 4 years old, my dad caught a dragonfly for me on our porch. He gave that dragonfly to me, and I took it to my room to examine its large round eyes, its worm-like body, and its transparent wings. I made sure that there was no escape for the dragonfly. I closed the door behind me and made sure that all the windows were closed. As soon as I let go of the dragonfly's wings, it somehow flew straight out the window. I swear to this day that when I had entered that room, that window was closed. Regardless, the dragonfly escaped and was able to find its independence. Much is the same with us. Having been sheltered and confined for so many years, we must now find that window, that passageway from childhood to adulthood, from the world we've known so far to the world lying ahead of us. With large open eyes, we will curiously enter into a world where we are left to make decisions on our own and where we will solely be responsible for the outcome of our lives. As we sit here tonight, we are all about to find that open window and find their independence. We are going to head out onto our own separate paths and discover who we are. However, before we embark on this journey, take the time to look back and see the images reflected on the window of the past. I look back and see my dad, who worked so hard to the point his arm has started to go numb. I see my mom, whose hands have become hard and calloused over years of working with produce, yet still have not lost their gentle touch. I see my grandma, who yelled at me whenever I was studying long past midnight just because she cared so much about me. I see my brother, whom I wrestled with over the prized Crayola box, whom I hated when he was little until I realized that I had to live with him, and who now is the one I trust with keeping secrets from our parents. And I look and see the friends I battled G.I. Joes with in my basement, the ones I watched Hanna-Barbera cartoons with every Saturday morning. I see the friends I had sleepovers with in the treehouse in the backyard, whispering about our latest crushes, the ones I played the board game Risk with until one of us had taken over the world. I see the friend who back in 9th grade promised that we would be valedictorians together, and here we are today. I see the friend who appeared not to have read the book, but somehow managed to get the only A on the Christmas Carol test. I see the friend who I had a crush on for months until I had the courage to ask her to the winter ball. And of course, I see the friends that I've grown to love over the past 13 years. It's hard to believe that high school has already come to an end. As we depart, I would like to leave you with a word of advice from one of my favorite movie characters, Ferris Bueller. Life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around, you could miss it. Thank you.
I would like to begin by telling you all a story. A long time ago, there was a man who set out to change the world. After a few years, he discovered that this would be too difficult, and he set a new goal of changing his country. After many years, he once again discovered that he was attempting an impossible task. He decided that he should focus on changing his family, but his efforts there were also futile. Having devoted his entire life to changing others, the old man finally lay on his deathbed. Here he realized that if only he had focused on changing himself, he could have changed his family, his country, and the world. This story is from Chicken Soup for the Soul, one of the most popular book series in the history of publishing. There are over a dozen different books, ranging from Chicken Soup for the Teenager's Soul to Chicken Soup for the Golfer's Soul. Every bookstore in America has a shelf devoted to these stories of love, compassion, courage, and sacrifice. Now, why are these books so popular? Because people like to read about all that is good with humanity. Reading these stories is uplifting and inspiring. However, scanning the covers of magazines and the front pages of newspapers, one might think that we yearn to hear the bad news. A recent example of this tendency is the coverage of the events at Columbine High School. At first, the nation was in shock, and rightfully so. Yet as days and weeks passed, the stories of heroism, courage, and sacrifice came to the surface, even though they were never the lead story. We do not need to look to Littleton to see examples of sacrifice and compassion. In my 3 years at North Penn, I have seen countless examples of people putting others first. I've seen teachers going that extra mile to establish a personal relationship with their students. I've seen administrators making a sincere effort to be a friend rather than an enforcer. And I have seen many, many students going out of their way to help others. This help does not always come in the obvious form of community service. Offering a kind word, helping with schoolwork, and being a good friend are examples of this type of sacrifice that I see every day at North Penn High School. The critics might say that our generation has abandoned the ideals of dedication, sacrifice, and compassion, but I refuse to believe the hype. There is too much hope, too much humanity, too much love here for the critics to be right. We should probably write our own Chicken Soup for the North Penn soul, with all the compelling stories of selfless acts that have gone unnoticed in the past 3 years. But as wonderful as North Penn is, after tonight we must all go into the real world. Whether we go to college or to a job, we will encounter many people who agree with the critics. If I offer you one piece of advice tonight, it is this. Please learn from the old man in the story. Do not repeat his mistake. If each one of us leaves here tonight determined to look at ourselves honestly and to discover and lift up the good things in life instead of the bad, believe me, that attitude will spread to family, friends, classmates, and coworkers. The class of 1999 can leave here tonight and change our families, our nation, and our world. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we as a community graduate 836 students. Graduating in absentia this evening, Scott Kelly, David Arthur Lerman, Claire Opella, Laura Lee Robbins, Daniel Thomas Short Jr., Diamond Trenge, Demetrius Vallis, Charles Robert Ward, Michael Zerby, and Michael Reichley. Graduating posthumously is Matthew Joseph Walsh. At this time, our class officers will prepare to read the names of students receiving diplomas.
Get it on? Rami Magdi Abdelmassi.
Amanda Lee Lightcap.
Ramon Nabil Abusef.
Elizabeth Rachel Ligori.
Simon Nabil Abusef.
Ju Young Lim.
Travis Sean Acker.
Christina Marie Littman.
Jacqueline Courtney Adair.
Robert Loader.
Michael James Adamek.
Ashley Meredith Loke.
Haig Corin Agajanian.
Christina Nicole Long.
Safer Ahmed.
Joshua Lee Long.
Julianne Shoei An.
Amy Julianne Lord.
Andrea An.
Nicole Hebner Love.
Mitul Praful Ashbera.
Karen May Lowry.
Sheikh Mohammed Akhtaruzaman.
Daniela Luberto.
Joseph Anthony Alcaro III.
Jared Ezra Lucas.
Jarrett David Alabak.
Kook Kim Liu.
Rebecca Pack Allender.
Lon Mi Liu.
Brianna Gibbs Allison.
Paul Douglas McGrady II.
Denise Nicole Alston.
Aaron Lee McKinney.
Matthew Benjamin Ames.
Julia Barbara McMullen.
Janita Amin.
Stephanie Ann Maggio.
AJ Kumar Anand.
Christopher James Gilmer.
William Edward Hall, Jr.
Iris Edina Magid.
Timothy James Anderson.
Joseph Basil Maglione III.
Rie Asano.
Jill Marie Malak.
Shatora Lynn Ash.
David Jonathan Malone.
Brian James Ashton.
Brian Patrick Maloney.
Todd David Atkinson.
Thomas Mandaraki.
Kimberly Ann Atwood.
Lisa Marie Manis.
Suzanne Elizabeth Baltozer.
Olga B. Mankiewicz.
Young Mi Bond.
James Robert Marengo.
Joshua Dwayne Barger.
Rebecca Lynn Markowitz.
Jeffrey Scott Barnt Jr.
Amanda Rachel Marcella.
Lauren Elise Barsky.
Elizabeth Ann Martell.
Natasha Lynn Barton.
Christopher Charles Martin.
Brian James Bousman.
David Wesley Martin III.
Brian Lawrence Bettis.
Kristen Noel Martin.
Megan Marie Bedner.
Carrie Lee Massimo.
Stephanie Patricia Bear.
Daniel Frank Masters.
Jared Michael Beiswinger.
Evan Hawley Matthews.
Nicole Marie Bell.
Sarah Lauren Mausloff.
Lee Michael Benedette.
Mark William Mayer.
Douglas J. Banner II.
Bradley Philip McAdoo.
Kimberly Susan Bennett.
Stephen Charles McCall.
Michael Francis Bennett.
Christina McCann.
Kyle Gerald Berger.
Kathleen Elizabeth McCarney.
Jeremy Adam Bergman.
David John McCarthy.
Matthew George Berthold.
Scott Arnon McClellan.
Lauren Renee Bertone.
Jillian Elizabeth McCourt.
Conrad Francis Byer.
Jason Michael McDonald.
William Murphy Betts.
Jamie Blair McFarland.
Desant G. Bagat.
Raymond Peter McGrath.
Mala V. Bagat.
Kimberly Asia McGraw.
Eric Stephen Bakochi.
Sean James McKenzie.
Christina Louise Bilo.
Brenda Lynn McLaughlin.
Julie K. Burt.
Kelly Ann McLear.
Kevin Charles Bisline.
Sean David McMahon.
April Lynn Battelle.
Melanie Jeanette McManus.
Sarah Frances Black.
Patricia Elaine McNutt.
Sarah Lorraine Blackledge.
Nicholas Scott Means.
Rocio Blasco Martinez.
Brian James Medlin.
Christy Marie Bleakley.
Chinar Pranav Mehta.
Philip Robert Blocklinger.
Cecilia Lee Mejias.
Jonathan Paul Bemke.
Sally Ann Meldon.
Jordan Robert Bogdanovich.
Melissa Colleen Melise.
Joseph Anthony Bogle.
Rachel Tiffany Mellor.
Ashley Virginia Bond.
Erin Nicole Mangle.
Stephen James Bonitatis.
Tracy Lynn Mangle.
Sherry Hope Borzer.
Jacob Manuel Mesa.
Tina Lorraine Bourne.
Jennifer Ann Mesa.
Selena Juanita Bowen.
David Walter Messerschmidt.
Michelle Lynn Bowen.
Christopher John Meyer.
Ashley Bowes.
Bart Maria Robert Mays.
Allison Haley Bowman.
Jeffrey Charles Michael.
Stephanie Ann Bowman.
Andrea Nicole Mitchner.
Megan Elizabeth Boyle.
Alla Stepanovna Mikichuk.
Shanae Danica Bradley.
Eric Patrick Miller.
Jocelyn Teresa Brannock.
Deanna Rose Mills.
Jolene Nicole Brederick.
Michael August Mirabella.
David Andrew Bray.
Ketki Jayantilal Mitha.
Kelly Lynn Broderick.
Janelle Christine Makaitis.
Charles Brian Brooker.
Fortuna Princess Anne Moise.
Brian Charles Brown.
Kimberly Lynn Mooney.
Katrina Michelle Brown.
Allison Ray Moore.
Jason Kendall Brown.
Erin Colleen Moore.
Jennifer Lynn Brunette.
Philip Thomas Moravec.
Stephanie Ann Bryan.
Zachary Charles Morris.
Nicholas Thomas Bucci.
Leslie Susan Mort.
Angela Colleen Buckley.
David Richard Most.
Robert Johnson Badinko.
Randall John Moyer Jr.
Megan Ann Berner.
Christopher Sean Mulhern.
Sarah Nicole Barano.
Heidi Georgine Mulvey.
Brian Stephen Bushman.
Rebecca Ann Myers.
Michael Albert Busfield.
Timothy Michael Myers.
Angela Dawn Cadwell.
Christopher Robert Nagel.
Stephen Michael Cahill, Jr.
Insik Nam.
Derek Kevin Calhoun.
Jason Michael Netarostic.
Carl Anthony Caliano.
Rebecca Evans Neff.
Jennifer Marie Caltabiano.
Stephanie Lee Nemchik.
Aaron Camlin.
Jonathan Andrew Newcomb.
Dean James Carabolius.
James Trung Nguyen.
Laurie Ann Carbone.
Amy Elizabeth Nickel.
Courtney Ann Carey.
Lisa Marie Niziolek.
Christine Vanessa Carlos.
Megan Lynn Oates.
Ashley Brooke Carpenter.
Kimberly Ann O'Connell.
Mirari Carranza.
Jennifer Sung A. O.
Julia Elizabeth Carter.
Michael Drake Omensetter.
Christopher James Castellanovo.
Bethany Lynn O'Neill.
Ryan Andrew Casey.
Jessica Lynn Orgira.
Ralph Russell Castle.
James Stanton Orlowski.
Henry Anthony Cataldi Jr.
Rosalind Stewart Orr.
Jason Ju Hao Chen.
Annette Marie Ortiz.
Amy Chang.
Jeffrey Eric Otten.
Jennifer Lynn Childress.
Stephen Bradley Otten.
Sean Anthony Childs.
Jennifer Lee Paulser.
Syra Batul Chowdhury.
Naaman Mukesh Parekh.
Crystal Hong Chung.
Samir Rashmi Parekh.
Anthony William Clark.
Min Sun Park.
Megan Berkeley Clark.
John Sinte Park.
John Thomas Clary III.
Sung In Park.
Carl Rulon Klaus.
Amanda Brooke Parker.
Andrew Harry Keith Clemens.
Erica Lavon Parker.
Leslie Ann Clements.
Matthew Allen Parker.
Timothy Patrick Klein.
Stephen Anthony Pasquale.
James Nathaniel Culture.
Ankur Kunalbhai Patel.
John Antonio Collins.
Dennis Patel.
Carlos Josue Colon.
Jaimin Kumar Chandrakant Patel.
Salvatore Conigliero.
Jaimin Kumar Yatin Kumar Patel.
Carlin Connell.
Krupa Patel.
Gregory James Connell.
Manil Bhikkhu Patel.
Sarah Elizabeth Conant.
Milan Gunvantbhai Patel.
Angela J. Cordero.
Priyanka Bipin Patel.
Jason Matthew Kosman.
Roshan Kumar Shailashbhai Patel.
David Christopher Koslow.
Ruchi P. Patel.
Anthony Allen Catalessa.
Sachin T. Patel.
Christopher Blake Couch.
Sarika D. Patel.
Tanya Lynn Cox.
Sviti R. Patel.
Alexandria Batten Craig.
Sweeta Patel.
Christopher Eric Craig.
Melissa Ann Patterson.
Jeffrey Allen Craig.
Megan Patrum.
Jean Marie Kramer.
James Patrick Peck.
Joshua Matthew Cressman.
Jessica Ann Pahoda.
Jonathan Wade Cressman.
Nikolai Michael Pemkowski.
Melissa Ann Croak.
Pamela Lynn Penny.
Shannon Z. Cross.
Kenneth Clayton Peterkin.
Kathleen Marie Cummins.
Janine Ann Peters.
Jessica Lee Curcio.
Catherine Louise Peters.
Kimberly Marie Curley.
Robert Joseph Augustine Peters.
Michael Lee Dalton.
Amy Lynn Peifel.
Jonathan Wayne Daniker.
Ashwini Mohan Phatak.
Kimberly Bonnie Dash.
Laura Beth Phelps.
Maureen Aaron Dobb.
Nicole Alyssa Phelps.
Shivali Ashok Dave.
Devin Gerald Philibom.
Molly Elizabeth Daveler.
Stephen Gerald Philibom.
Sabrina Marie Davila.
David Christopher Fillion.
Benjamin Ballard Davis.
Brian Scott Phillips.
Laura Kirsten Davis.
Melissa Brooke Piccirilli.
Tennille Latanya Davis.
Brianne Plowa.
Candace Marie Dean.
Matthew Robert Plowinski.
Heather Jean DeSembrino.
Alberto Poblano.
Adam Decker.
Michelle Lynn Polston.
Henry Alexander Diebel.
Nancy Ann Pomponio.
Michael Thomas DeFelice.
Chad Ashton Powell.
Daniel Ian Deitch.
Jessica Lynn Pront.
Gina Marie Delahunty.
Michael Joseph Pugliese.
Cara Elizabeth Del Conte.
Melissa Nicole Pizzella.
Richard Andrew Del Conte.
Ian Robert Quinn.
David Donald Delp II.
Lindsay Elizabeth Quinn.
Jonathan Adam Dennis.
Heather Kathleen Quire.
Kelly Marie Dennison.
Ryan Brett Rabin.
Loretta Ann Durr.
Tofik Raj.
Renee Annette Durr.
Melody Elizabeth Ramos.
Sandra Elizabeth Durstein.
Elena Christine Rapine.
Christopher Michael Dewey.
Tiffany Brooke Rapine.
Towlin Thami.
Roger Michael Rathbun.
Joseph A. DiBiase.
Daniel William Rao.
Francis Joseph DeChico Jr.
Jeffrey Robert Rao.
Elisa Diane Dickinson.
Scott Douglas Rao.
Laura Ann DeLuigi.
Dory Melinda Reed.
Jonathan Michael Ditzler.
Annette Marie Repulse.
Dominic DeSimone.
Jan Rechsteiner.
Andrea Michelle Dobbs.
Valerie Shawana Reed.
Angela Marie Dobbs.
Desiree Noel Rafus.
Amanda Rose Donahue.
Meredith Ann Reichley.
Lonnie Ann Dorns.
Erin Marie Reister.
Karen Lynn Doherty.
Jacqueline Elaine Rinaldi.
Catherine Ann Doherty.
Catherine Ann Reynolds.
Aaron Douglas.
Sharif Fidel Riyad.
Francis Patrick Douglas.
Ebony Shawnee Rickenbacker.
Francis John Dreyer III.
Amy Lee Rims.
Mandy Quinn Drelling.
Anthony David Rims.
Janice Kung Yoon Drew.
James Bruce Rinker Jr.
Sarah A. DeSilly.
Melissa Kelly Rittenhouse.
Jonathan Edward Duchnowski.
Michael Eliud Rivera.
Daniel Richard Duffy.
Anthony Andrew Roba.
John Harold Dukes.
Christine Elizabeth Roberts.
Kimberly Ingrid Dunn.
H. Kathleen Roberts.
Jocelyn Kathleen Durand.
Joseph Ronald Rocky.
Rebecca Carolyn Edwards.
Andrea Marie Rogers.
Gregory Lewis Elko.
Christina Rollinghoff.
Kristen Denise Engel.
Taina Roland.
Andre Clinton Engelhart.
Matthew Lewis Rossioli.
Otto Kwamina Enswa.
Jamie Lee Rose.
Rachel Nicole Epps.
Stephen Anthony Rose.
Thomas Andrew Etheridge III.
Jason Charles Roth.
David F. Evans.
Allison Halpin Rudolph.
Kimberly Beth Evans.
Tamara Lynn Ryan.
Michael Lawrence Evelyn.
Michelle Alexandra Sabrick.
Justin Elliott Everingham.
Jody Lee Salerno.
Brandon Michael Fabiani.
Michael Anthony Salerno.
Timothy Edward Fall.
Michael Thomas Sana.
Elena Marie Fennel.
Benito Joseph Santoro, Jr.
Jason Allen Fendo.
Shirley Sarker.
Charlotte Louise Fenton.
Elizabeth Savar.
Komira Fairdouse.
Eric Charles Sawyer.
Gregory Bernard Ferguson.
Kristen Renee Schilling.
Heather Elizabeth Ferguson.
Diane Christine Schillow.
Paul Ryan Ferguson.
Brian John Schoening.
W. Thomas Joseph Festing.
Michael Kane Shawley.
Jeffrey Scott Fields.
Christopher Ryan Schrack.
Richard Jameson Filson.
Dustin James Shilorick.
Nadine Fisher.
David William Scott.
Monica Dawn Fisher.
Rashida Amina Scott.
Brian David Fitzsimmons.
Jeanette Lee Seckler.
Jamie Lynn Fletcher.
Reginald Jitendra Silal.
Barry Anthony Floyd.
Christopher Kieran Seawagon.
Janine Marie Fonda.
Andrew David Seiler.
Danielle Bree Franchini.
Mitchell Samuel Siped.
John Isaac Frederick.
Michael Scott Sinago.
Stephanie Kim Fry.
Michael James Senich.
Karen Amanda Friedman.
Michael Allen Rocco Savati.
Jennifer Nicole Fritz.
Nicole Jessica Seward.
Stephanie Ann Fritzsches.
Sajal R. Shaw.
Patrice Suzanne Fullerton.
Jillian Lee Sharkey.
Heidi Ann First.
Monica Christine Sharp.
Jennifer Denise Fines.
Courtney Lynn Shaw.
Nadine Gail Gabadon.
Kelly Ann Shaw.
Jared Matthew Gamble.
Yeah, Jared.
Ashley Shea.
Pamela Sue Garnett.
Brian Francis Sherman.
Catherine Ann S. Geddes.
Lisa Kaushik Sheth.
Michael Joseph Gensch Jr.
Brian Cheng Yi Shea.
Jane Melissa Girani.
Danielle Jade Shaughnessy.
Robert Justin Gerhardt.
Jennifer Nicole Schomper.
Matthew Michael Gessner.
Jamie Francis Shope.
Amy Marie Gianfrancesco.
Elise Jamie Shore.
Rebecca Ann Giesman.
Jacqueline Lee Siffel.
Heather Dro Gilkey.
Lonnie Leah Silcox.
Thomas Charles Gilmore Jr.
Pamela Ava Silverman.
Michael Joseph Casandi.
William Charles Simcox III.
Alfred Vincent Giuliani.
Joanna Lee Symes.
Todd Christopher Givnish.
Andrew Lincoln Simpson Jr.
James Frederick Glancy.
Kelly Ann Simpson.
Jill Nicole Glasgow.
Brianne Marie Singer.
Daniel Mark Glasser.
Megan Wiley Sins.
Yes, sends out.
Brett Joseph Gloviak.
Wendy Jean Scozen.
William Thomas Gates III.
Dana Michelle Skolnick.
Lisa Michelle Goldstein.
Jacob Clinton Slavens.
Bethany Marie Goltz.
Diane Catherine Smallwood.
Nikia Christine Graham.
Brian Gordon Smith.
Ronald Edward Gravish Jr.
Jason Allen Smith.
Janelle Louisa Gray.
Tiffany Marie Smith.
Joshua Lee Greaser.
Amber Gail Smolinski.
Yes, Smo.
Eric John Griner.
Yeah, grind.
Ian Patrick Duncan Smythe.
Matthew Joseph Gresh.
Christopher Michael Snyder.
Amanda Renee Greer.
Jacqueline A. Snyder.
Sarah Christine Greer.
Sarah Laureen Snyder.
Snyder.
Laura Sue Griffith.
Roberto Tyrone Solis.
Brandon Michael Gross.
Catherine Jennifer Somar.
Nicole Marie Guerrieri.
Benjamin Andrew Sortman.
Katie Nicole Goulden.
Edward Allen Soto.
Joanna Guzman.
Adam Barrett Spengler.
Eric George Haig.
David Albert Spicer.
Monica Lee Hatchin.
Mark Russell Sproul.
Melissa Ann Half.
Jeffrey Trent Stramek.
Daniel Paul Hafner.
Jennifer Lynn Stahl.
Michael Philip Hafner.
Bria Melissa Stamball.
Rebecca Ann Haig.
Douglas Greg Stanley.
Neil Halberstadt.
Russell Taylor Stark IV.
Kathleen Ann Hale.
Ryan Christopher Stager.
James Riley Halleck.
Arthur James Steingrubel.
Sheena Diane Hallowell.
Timothy John Stelz.
Kevin Andrew Hammond.
Cami Ray Ruth Stemler.
Sarah Ann Handy.
Alfred McEwen Stevens II.
Andrew William Hanks.
Tara Lynn Stevens.
Brian Joseph Hannigan.
Luke Richard Stevenson.
Rita Lynn Hannum.
Robert Samuel Stewart.
Chad Stephen Haraschak.
Sarah Lauren Stewart.
Jennifer Ray Harding.
Christina Lynn Stiefel.
Emily Margaret Hargis.
Graham Rankin Stiles.
Yes, Styles.
Andrew Christopher Harris.
Andrea Marie Stottlemyre.
Jessica Lynn Hartman.
Tani Lee Stout.
Edward John Hartnett.
Mark David Straka.
Gerald Joseph Hartnett.
Theodore John Stratton.
Yeah, Theo.
Kristen Lynn Hartzell.
Michelle Ann Strauss.
Mahmoud Hassan.
Stephen Atiba Strother.
Nathan Burton Hawthorne.
Kimberly Lauren Stunkert.
Colleen Elizabeth Hayes.
Ivana Casimira Sudal.
Kelly Lynn Hayes.
Kimberly Seyram Sue.
Kevin Michael Hayes.
Edward Richard Svetnov III.
Samantha Leah Heckler.
Nadine Renee Swazowski.
John Philip Hedrick.
Kita Sipanya.
Robert Anthony Henderson.
Jennifer Sykes.
Janet Lynn Henning.
Scott Michael Taggart.
Kimberly Ann Herbert.
Justin Hunter Tanis.
Matthew John Hertz.
It hurts.
Adrian Alexandra Taylor.
Tiana Lynn Hibbsman.
Oretha Francina Taylor.
Sarah Janine Higgins.
Nicole Forestina Taylon.
Mark Raymond Hinkle.
Sean William Thacker.
Daniel Eric Hoffman.
C. Tho.
Nicholas John Hoffman.
Abraham Thomas.
Troy Everett Hall.
James Edmund Thompson III.
Scott Joseph Holzenbach.
Scott Gregory Thompson.
Elizabeth Marie Hood.
Teresa Marie Thompson.
Eric Ryan Hoogerworth.
Deneen Roshada Tosan.
Tiffany Ann Hopkins.
Siri Elizabeth Trainer.
Kimberly Ann Horace.
James David Tucker.
Dunstan Tenwu Hong.
Nicholas Turason.
Tiffany Ann Huff.
Yeah, Hop.
Stephen Gregory Turzo.
Nicholas John Hulick.
Cynthia Marie Omer.
Jennifer Nicole Hummel.
Andrea Umloff.
Shannon Marie Hungate.
Kristen Lynn Ungerman.
Mohammed Chad Hussein.
Anne Marie Unruh.
David Min Nguyen.
Jeremy Elliott Eurasius.
Stephanie Rose Hines.
Sang Ui.
Cynthia Blanche Illingworth.
Yeah, Cynthia.
Manisha Dangjibai Vadadoria.
Jin Im.
Go ahead, Jen.
Miklo Shandor Voida.
Farzana Islam.
Leanne Marie Vashold.
Corey George Jackson.
Go ahead, Boo.
Michelle Kristen Vaughn.
Sarwar Jahan.
Michael Charles Vavra.
Samad Jahansus.
Joel Vasquez.
Nicole Margaret Jansen.
William Victor Verna III.
Melissa Lynn Jansen.
Kenneth Christian Vika Jr.
Nicholas David Jeffers.
Natasha Lynn Rose Vilsek.
Brian Evan Jenkins.
Gregory Lawrence Vince.
Natalie Danielle Johns.
Virginia Jean Vogel.
Douglas Joshua Johnson.
Yeah, Doug.
Jenny Vollmer.
Jody Bro Johnson.
Yeah, Jody.
Stephen Robert Wagner II.
Lisa Marie Johnson.
Asa Herbert Wagner.
Philip Lee Johnson.
David George Wabel Jr.
Yeah, wave.
Shahir Hakim Johnson.
Jonathan Drew Walco.
Thomas Michael Johnson.
William Sean Wall.
Tiffany Capri Johnson.
Kyla Joyce Wallace.
Brian Christopher Jones.
Eric Wayne Walsh.
Lauren Ann Jones.
Teresa Ann Walters.
Michael Stephen Jowder.
Mike.
Lauren Elizabeth Ward.
George Xiang Ju.
Shannon Marie Ward.
Rejoice Louise Jula.
Jana Lynn Wardlow.
Jessica Lauren Just.
Kirsten Alexandra Wassel.
Sue Jin Kang.
Daniel Robert Watson Bay.
Raj Kanamori.
James Paul Waywell.
Katie Lee Kasoff.
Zachariah Ellerton Webb.
David Aaron Katz.
Catherine Nicole Weber.
Ahmet Baruch Kaufman.
Debbie Sue Lun Wei.
Jennifer Robin Keller.
Sean Christopher Wieland.
Kara Chickering Canali.
Timothy Wesley Weir.
Mark Valentine Kernan.
Brian Christopher Weissel.
Matthew Stephen Kerr.
Colleen Joanne Welsh.
Krista Lynn Kerwood.
Sarah Marie Welsh.
Neil Diamond Carre.
Kimberly Dawn Wirt.
Chi Young Kim.
Ashley Chanel Wessner.
Helen Kim.
Robert Samuel Westwood.
Ho Sung Kim.
Raymond Wetzler.
Joanne J. Kim.
Simone Dion Warwood.
Mi Ran Kim.
Dave White.
Stephen Kim.
Yes, Steve.
Joshua Allen Whitworth.
Lindsay Joy Kleba.
Amanda Michelle Williams.
Jillian Lee Knight.
Danielle Marie Williams.
Laurie Beth Kohler.
Dawn Elizabeth Williamson.
Monica Ruth Kohler.
Philip Ryan Wimmer.
Brandon Edward Komar.
Yeah, Brando!
Sarah Ann Wise.
Yes, Sarah. Emily Suzanne Kopp.
Aaron Lynn Witta.
Justin Thomas Katolka.
Jacob Michael Wolf.
Timothy Scott Kozak.
Julia Hale Woodbury.
Dana Marie Kretschmann.
Maureen Elizabeth Woods.
Dana Faye Kriebel.
Michelle Robluski.
Timothy Richard Kronstein.
Karen Francis Wiley.
Dana Clemens Culp.
Amanda B. Yan.
Nicole Marie Kunkel.
Adam Yared.
Lori Rose Cutsup.
Patricia Dunhee Yee.
Denise Jean LeBold.
Sarah K. Yu.
Allison Marie LaFleur.
Sylvia Mung-hee Yoon.
Megan Ann LaFleur.
Jennifer Lynn Young.
Susan Irene Lander.
Samantha Nolina Young.
David James Landis.
Kenneth John Zabrowski.
Kenny Z.
Erica Susan Lang.
Anne Vreeland Zabriskie.
Jillian May Lang.
Jillian.
Christina Marie Zabrodsky.
Leela Rachel Angelina Lawrence.
James Joseph Zapp.
Corey Andrew Lazarowitz.
Jamie Lynn Ziegler.
Shayna Ann Leary.
Jacob Michael Zisk.
Dong Min Lee. Eugene Lee. Nancy Wan Lee. William Franklin Leisner. Cassandra Lee Lendenman. Matthew Thomas Leo. Martin Edward Leonard.
Yeah, Martin.
Deborah Kyle Lepp. Andrew Colin Lurch. Kenneth Mark Lurch. Andrew David Lefsneski. Jason Jean Lewis.
The Secretary of the Class of 1999, Allison Marie Kelleher.
Class Treasurer of 1999, Jason Richard Harris. Vice President of the Class of 1999, Scott Charles Adams.
President of the Class of 1999, Evan John Fitzpatrick.
Class of 1999, congratulations. You have made the entire North Penn School District and community proud of you and our schools. My directions from your class president was to keep this short, and I will. I agree with Dr. Cotter when he describes North Penn High School as the flagship high school in the United States. And you are the reason why. Now for the business at hand. It is my responsibility to certify that you have met the necessary requirements to receive a diploma. But first, I must administer one more test in your career. Class of 1999, are you ready?
Yeah!
Good answer. By the powers vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and as Superintendent of Schools, I hereby affirm that you have met all the criteria required for graduation and confer upon you a North Penn High School diploma with all the rights and privileges accorded. Congratulations.
Would the class of 99 please rise? Would everybody please turn their tassel from the right side to the left, over your heart? Always remember North Penn High School in the class of 99. Congratulations!